Hey guys, it's Wednesday. Always when I come to do a video, well, I don't want to say always because that's not true, but they're trimming trees across the way or they're working on the power lines. That's what it is, they're working on the power lines. Anyway, so please forgive it. I hope you don't mind. I just came on to say hello, and I'm outside clearing up the bird feed area because of the rain. I have become an avid bird watcher for the last 5 years, and now I start my day every day with the birds. I come outside. Sorry, I just had a little coffee and cookie in there that my son's girlfriend made. Snickerdoodle cookie. Let me turn around here so you get something pretty behind me besides my garden that is all covered with the frost cloth because it is cold. It is very cold today. It's in the 50s. My dog and I just took a walk. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Okay, I was talking about birds. For the last 5 years, I would say, I begin my day with bird sounds. And if you're not able to come outside and it's raining or it's too cold, or when it's early, I get up and YouTube has a marvelous selection of people that are blessings from heaven that have incredible bird channels. Let me give them some credit right here. There's Handsome Nature, there's Red Squirrel Studios, there's Lens Smith, Lens is like the lens of a camera. I said Handsome Nature. Oh my gosh, Birder King, like Burger King. This is Birder, Birder King, and oh my gosh, who else? Oh, there are at least 5 more. And I put that on first thing in the morning. I put on music through my Spotify low because my kids are still sleeping, my son and daughter. They go outside of the house to work. And I have to feed my animals. I got an early start feeding my animals because before my beautiful keeper passed back in February from cancer, I would get up, as soon as my feet would hit the floor, he figured it was time to eat. And because of the heavy medication he was on, he was ravenous. So I would get up and begin my day to feed my golden retriever his breakfast. And it's kind of become a habit. So I'm up at anywhere between 4:30-ish and 5 o'clock, and I start feeding my animals. And what do I have on to accompany me but the bird sounds and the soft music? And you know what? I keep that on all day. I no longer watch TV unless I'm, deliberately watching something. There is a marvelous series on that Darren O'Lean and the cutie pie Zac Efron have made. And I'm sorry guys, I've forgotten the name of it, but you guys will do yourself a service if you watch their show, Darren's show. And it's all about making our world a better place. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if we want to live in a better world, we have been we've been designed and created by our source creator, who, however you identify, God, Buddha, light source, whatever you call them. They have given us the ability to create and create from our hearts. And if not, that was interesting. If not, why not? Why not something better? And Darren and Zac travel the world in search of indigenous peoples, how they live, better ways of doing things. They just visited Australia and met with this incredible couple that are making a plastic, you guys, that biodegrades in 2 weeks. Where, I mean, let's be real. What is something you can think of right now that's absolutely horrid? It's laundry bottles that never dissolve, never go away. And I'm sorry to say, our world is becoming filled with these horrible things. But the beautiful part is we've got some incredible people who are coming up with better ways to do our laundry, better, safer, and kinder to our environment and to its inhabitants, people and animals. And of course, Darren is a vegan, like myself. I should say plant-based. Being a pure vegan is very difficult in this world. But I will say plant-based because I do not consume meat or dairy at all. And so that's my contribution. Anyway, I'm getting my subjects turn from this big to, spread out huge. Anyway, and this all came from deliberate acts of watching TV and listening to the birds while living my life and making better choices. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Better choices for yourself. And these better choices will do what? They remind you of why you came to be on this planet, this earth. When we're younger, we kind of live by the seat of our pants. We say, oh, it's not going to hit me. I'm young. I'm immortal. I can take it. And then as you get older and you've got some life under your belt, you've been through horrible relationships, and then you get rid of them because you learn, and you have your incredible children, the blessings from our divine. And we are in a position to show them what we have learned. And I feel, for me personally, I feel children make you better. And I know my children have made me a better person. When I was a yard duty of 15 years, that was the best job besides being a mom in my whole life. And I credit those children for giving me patience and making me a better person. But I'm out here, as I said, long story short, cleaning up my bird feeding area because of the rain. We've been pelted with rain lately, and that's unusual for California, but when it does rain, it literally pours, and it'll pour for days. So come out and clean up your bird feeder area, because you don't want your birds consuming wet food, because a lot of this food literally is toxic. If it gets wet, it starts to sprout, and it's, grows mold, and it's dangerous. So I'm gonna point down here. This is my bird area. You see that down there, all that wet. I'm getting ready to clean it up. Oh, that's the dog next door. Anyhow, there's the creek down there, and beyond there is the what do you call it? The recreational center where kids are and kids and adults play tennis. Anyhow, and another thing too, the reason for my YouTube video today is to ask you what inspires you. And I mean inspire meaning, so you've got the birds that take you away from the nonsensical noise out there. And what touches your heart space? Birds do it for me, and so does coming outside in nature. I mean, no, I don't surf the waves. I don't climb the snowy mountains. I don't run marathons. I used to walk, however. I used to walk 3 miles a day, and that was terrific. Let me tell you, that is something that I can't say enough about. But I walk my dog. I used to walk my keeper. He was my third golden retriever, and we'd begin every day with a walk, a nice long walk. But now I've got my little white dog, Eddie, who's a little Jack Russell Terrier mix. And he and I walk every single day. But what I'm getting at is what opens my heart space is nature. And I don't know about some of you guys, but this time of year for me here in Central California, there are some of the most gorgeous trees I've ever seen in my entire life come September, October. I have to say, those are the last 3.5 months of the year, the end of September, October, November, and December, that open my heart and light up my heart space more than anything I can think of. The colors are flame orange. There's even some pink in there. If you start talking about the Chinese pistache trees, oh my Lord, I believe it's Chinese pistache, but oh my Lord in heaven, look up one of those trees. Look up also the red crepe myrtle. Oh, it makes me, yeah, like that bird, it makes me sing. Like that guy playing tennis. I mean, like nothing else. And those pistache trees get magenta in them. Magenta, mandarin orange, scarlet red, flames, you guys. Oh my God. So what touches my heart? Nature and its inhabitants. The trees, I literally go up to trees and I gotta touch them. I've gotta hug them. I just gotta be next to them. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to clean up my bird area so that my little visiting birds and squirrels don't get sick. And I don't think it's supposed to rain anymore. I'm going to clean it up, and then I will check my weather report and make sure I'm not just going to defeat my purpose by putting out fresh bird seed only to have it get wet. One more thing, I am being visited by stellar blue jays. Look up stellar blue jays, and they are the most striking, amazing looking birds. They look scary because they're so bold, and they're like a Rembrandt painting, like the darkest blue that looks almost black, and their bodies are a deep, intense royal blue. And they come and visit me for peanuts. I put peanuts up along the fence up here for them and the squirrels and regular blue jays. And what I mean by when I tell you they look like they're fierce, they are, but I've got my regular blue jays that don't have that incredibly dark mohawk that looks menacing, and they will come and chase the stellar blue jays out of my yard, if you can believe that. So they're not so tough after all. But anyway, I'm going to get to doing that, and I want you guys, I hope I gave you guys some things to think about. Create a space for yourself outside. Call it a sanctuary, and make it a place where you could put a candle even in the evening time when the birds are no longer visiting, and light it for your ancestors. Light it and say, have talks or say prayers for your passed on loved ones, because trust me on this, they're with you, but they will appreciate that. They appreciate you not forgetting about them. Though they may no longer be on this earth, they're still around you in spirit form, and all you got to do is think of them, and they're right there with you. And sit down with your candle or stand next to your little area and say your thoughts and have your little conversations. But I also do that with my Golden's past and my Golden Keeper. I keep his picture up and include him in everything because I miss him. I miss him dearly. He was so absolutely beautiful. But talking again about our environment and our world, cancer has become the #1 killer of golden retrievers. And I venture to say not just Goldens, because both of my kids, well, my son works for the local vet now, and my daughter used to. And it's the big breed dogs. Bernese Oberlins, Great Pyrenees, Golden Retrievers. God, just look it up. You can Google it. And they start to get problems with their spleen. And the spleen is with their reproductive system. It's all together. And so when they come into this world, the best thing you can do, awful enough, when you have them spayed and neutered, is to remove all of that. Because that's your dangerous, deadly area right there as time progresses and ends up shortening their lives. That's where the cancer starts. And my keeper barely made it to 7 years old. And I've had dogs in my life that have lived to be 13 and 15. In fact, Honey, my Golden that I had before Sandy, who was the Golden before Keeper, passed when she was 13, maybe 14, and she died of cancer. So it's getting shorter and shorter. And so it's not just affecting our furry friends, it's affecting our human friends, cancer. So disease is caused by stress and worry. And worry is like building a house you're never going to pay for, if you think about that one. Start focusing and concentrating on things that you can do something about. And if it's bigger than you and you can't, put it to the side and start with things that you can. And that means in your personal life. And some people, and I know people like this, that will say, well, I'm just one person. What can I do? And they throw up their hands and throw caution to the wind and go ahead and buy that vehicle and go ahead and sit down to that steak dinner and go ahead and wash their clothes with one of those soaps from Target or Walmart in a big jug and, wash their clothes. And they're not mindful of what they feed their dog. If you go out into regular grocery store shelves, look at the ingredient list. There's a lot of beautiful human beings on this earth that are finding ways to feed our furry pets. In fact, my little dog, Eddie, and his little friend, Finn, who's a Chihuahua, get carrots and apples for snacks. You don't need to buy that toxic stuff over the shelves because you guys, look at them. The preservatives alone are deadly. Don't feed your dogs those things. Watch the toys that you give them to play with, those rope toys that are all braided together. Let me tell you something about those. Those unravel inside of their bodies and get caught up in their organs. They suffocate, they strangle, and they can't pass it. It has to be surgically removed. I'm just telling you guys, I'm coming from a place of experience. I know a little something at this age of 62. And like I said, when I was younger, I thought I was invincible. But as I've grown up and I have learned from life and through various ways that there are much better ways to make yourselves happy. So it all starts with you. And yes, you're just one person, but it's not what you know as much as it's who you know and who they know. Think of it that way. So spread the word of what you know, share it with your friends, and let it explode. Okay? Let it branch out. And another plug I will give right here and now is to my company, Young Living Essential Oils, because that right there really set all of this in motion. It is plant-based oils, pure grade essential oils that got me to open up my heart and realize that there are better ways to live on this earth. Anyway, I'm under 20. You guys, peace, love, and lots of light from Source. I hope I gave you something to think about. I will be back as soon as I can. I'm going to get busy cleaning my bird area. I wish you all well, and I will talk with you again soon.